Alright guys, the level 80 update is around the corner and you're going to want to be ready. I'm going to break down exactly which heroes you want to focus on before the update hits so you're ahead of the game. And I know that you're probably wondering what heroes you should bring to level 80. So I'm going to go over some heroes that you should be focusing on. If you don't have them at level 70, you'll want to get them there, and what else you need to do. And of course, let's start with fighters, right? For fighters, the go-to that I'm looking at is definitely Thor. Thor is heavy hitter. If you build him right, he can sit up front. Of course, he's also AoE base. Another recommendation here is Mr. Fantastic, but probably you didn't pull for him because you were focused on other banners. But again, if you have Thor, definitely he's highly recommended to go to level 80. When it comes to defenders, this one, good amount of options, right, in terms of who you can go with. But for me, primarily my choice would be, unfortunately, I'm picking Cap over Hulk. I'm a big fan of Hulk, but again, Cap, the main reason being his ultimate, because again, his ultimate gives you the 3 mana gain, which only him and Dream Queen has the ability, as of recording, to give you additional mana, right? Yes, there are abilities that are there that can reduce the cost of mana, right? But again, he's the only one that does that. And I think bringing him to level 80 would definitely help out because of his versatility. And of course, he can increase your attack. I think it should be attack and HP, which would have been great. It would work for both defenders and attackers. But again, it is what it is. And of course, he brings the protection with the shields, could couple with Invisible Woman, but we'll talk more about that later. But again, if you don't have Cap, your other option could be Juggernaut. Thing is definitely great in PvP. So again, when it comes to the defenders, there's some great options. Their armor is also good too, but for me to go to level 80, I'm looking at Cap, and then when I come back around to defenders, I'm gonna go with the Hulk because again, he's just my guy, right? That's just me personally. When it comes to strikers, this one is a little tough because again, I was thinking Iron Man, right? Iron Man, great AoE damage, and also could potentially do some single target, but AoE situation, my go-to is Iron Man. And again, he is a physical attacker, and it was between him and Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch, single target, does well with bosses. Got a little bit of AoE on the ultimate, of course, but again, it's tough to choose. You're gonna need a lot of XP and coins to level up these heroes, so you want to make sure you're making the right choice, so keep that in mind. For controllers, we actually have a decent amount of options here, but for me, off rip, I'm definitely gonna go with Invisible Woman, right? She is my go-to choice for whatever content I'm in, right? Because again, if you were lucky enough to get her to at least an additional copy, that full transparency giving shields is busted, right? It really is. Depending on the hero, sometimes it varies. You can pretty much get an additional L bar when it comes to that shield, right? And it definitely helps out in certain situations. A lot of content, I just put her in there and whoever else I need to bring, and she gets it done. So definitely bringing her to level 80. I think she might be my first choice out of all of the heroes that I mentioned. Of course, would be recommended to bring your striker or potentially your fighter, Thor, right? But for me, I'm definitely going with her. Another option would be Emma. Emma at 80, great. The big thing about Emma is also the healing. If you could get another copy of Emma, she's also going to be great because she has the ability to heal the team on her Soul Saga here. At one copy, her skill heals all allies instead of just the one with the lowest HP, and that would be obviously clutch. And then of course the bigger thing is the fact that she increases special damage. I still want them to drop a hero that increases physical damage, right? I thought Captain America was going to get this, but he didn't end up getting that. So again, Invisible Woman, Emma, and another option would be Doctor Strange, because again, The reason why I'm going with Doctor Strange is because there are times where the damage is too much and you may not have Invisible Woman at 2 copies, right? Then having Doctor Strange, and even for me, my Doctor Strange, I got one additional copy of him. But again, even without that additional copy, he still gets it done as long as you have a copy, which is great, right? Invisible Woman needs 2, Emma needs 2, but at 1 she still gets the job done, right? But Doctor Strange, you get an additional copy, is great. But with the controllers here, Dream Team's also another option, right? But for me, I would go with Invisible Woman first. When I come back around, right, I would go with Emma and then Doctor Strange, depending on if there's any difficult boss content that needs a secondary team. Just keep that in mind. I want you to keep that in mind that at some point you're going to get to a point where you're going to have to build out either 2 other teams, and having Doctor Strange here, he could definitely fit onto the secondary team. So now that we know the heroes, what should you do to prepare? The biggest part is your resources. What do you have, right? You're going to have to bring these ascension materials to this level here, right? It doesn't mention it here, but that's what it's for. So now you're going to need a lot more of these lower ones. So start farming these. Use exploration mode to grab these resources. That's what I focus on primarily, on the exploration mode, trying to get these resources so when the time comes I can convert them into the yellow, right? That's the best way to put it. And you're gonna need those, and of course you're gonna have to bring these ones up too, the Nord stones, right? So start stacking up on those, and remember, those resources, they're gonna be needed to upgrade your heroes and your highlights. Of course, if you already have some additional resources here, I would hold on. And one thing I would suggest you do is, actually, if you haven't cleared some of these, or especially stories and all of that, I would wait to clear it, because again, when I cleared Trial of Vishanti 5, it automatically bumps me to level 65. So the question will be, is all the XP that you've been gaining, is that going to go to waste, or is it going to propel you all the way to 80? Because most likely you've been playing, you've been collecting resources, and you've been gaining all that XP. Does it go to waste, or do you have to still grind through it? I think they should just make you grind through it. Unfortunately, I think that would be better, because if they do it where once you cleared the Trial of Vishanti 6, you jump all the way up to level 80, then there's no grind there, right? Because then it gives you nothing to do. And a lot of people complain that there isn't much to do in the game, and if you jump all the way to 80 as soon as you beat that takes away from the fact that now you have to grind. So give people an incentive to grind and increase the amount it takes to level up, right? I think adding that would increase the difficulty in terms of leveling. Obviously there won't be any content, because that's what people are complaining about, of course, but I feel like not giving us the option to jump all the way to 80, because chances are, if they go that route, then you're gonna go close to 80, right? And increase the amount of XP you need to level up. I think that would incentivize me to push and play the game more, because usually what I do when I come in, I'll show you what I do real quick. I don't come in, I go into here, I either go with the XP or points, and that's what I do. I've been holding on to that. Right now, let's see how much I have 2.5 million tactical reports, and I'm sitting on pretty much 2 million gold, right? And that's what I've been doing. So again, start stacking up on those resources. If you have those heroes, focus on those heroes. Again, let me know in the comments if there is anyone else you're gonna think to bring to level 80, where it'll be your Thor, right, of course, and also your Captain America, like I mentioned, and of course honorable mention would be the Hulk thing for PvP. And for your strikers, we have Iron Man and Scarlet Witch, and of course for controllers, go to Invisible Woman, and we also have Emma and Doctor Strange. So those are the heroes that I'm planning on bringing to level 80. and I recommend you do the same. So again, if you made it this far in the video, the word of the day is 80, right? Because you're gonna want to bring your heroes to level 80. Honestly, I thought they were gonna go to 120, right? That's what I thought they were gonna do. But I guess they'll go up to 90, 100, 110, and then 120. But that's later on down the road. Again, if you're new around here, you want guides, updates, walkthroughs, this is the channel you want to subscribe to. For those that are rocking with me, let me know what heroes you're planning on bringing to level 80 once the level cap is active into the game. Without further ado, I want to thank you for watching. Till the next video, peace.